Welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name's Jenny Sanaparatna. Grab your favorite drink, get yourself a snack, and we will get started. Today I have strawberries and my drink is water because you know what? We're just keeping it simple and trying to make it through the day. So here we go. Let's get real. So this week is Easter week. Now, if you're listening to this at a different time, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. Keep listening. But Easter week is the one time of year that no one wants a guest speaker. Like, woot. We actually had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday originally booked for this week. So Kevin had a service Thursday night. We were going to do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday at a church, and all of it ended up canceling. So the minute that canceled, I said, let's go to the cabin. Now, there is a free cabin in the state of Minnesota that if you're an Assemblies of God pastor, you get to go to one time for 3 nights or 2 nights. It matters on the time of year. And you get to go there for free. And it is at a campground. It's phenomenal. If you have not done it and you hold credentials, scoot on over and get your tail feathers in that cabin. We do it every Easter. First of all, no one is there at Easter. It is closed. So officially, there's no food, there's no amenities. Not a problem for us. And there's also no people. And when you live a life of an extrovert and you're actually an introvert, it is phenomenal. So we go to this cabin, and we used to bring my family, but my family no longer is able to come, and that's okay. We decided to go by ourselves, and we have done so many fun things up there. I'm so excited. We've done an Easter egg hunt. We used to do it because we have one child. You know that if you've listened to the podcast. If you're new, welcome. But we have one child. So we actually one year did a Easter egg hunt just for her. And I think she was like 2 or 3. And I'm like, this is really boring. This is no fun. So we actually changed it to everybody gets Easter eggs. Everybody gets a color. There's the same amount of money or candy. This year it's just money. And everybody gets colors, and they're hidden by everybody else. So someone else will hide mine. I'll hide everybody else's. And we go hunting throughout the entire camp. Well, normally I try to keep it in an area. And we go hunting for our eggs. And it is a blast because it's just something that you do not need to stress about. So no one's fighting over anything. Everybody gets the exact same amount. And I realize that that's normally children, but trust me, it's also adults. Everybody is equal. But it is just time. It's a time to let down our hair. And all of a sudden I'm like, we need cookie dough because that is something that whenever we go, we play games, we eat pizza, we eat cookie dough. It is just a phenomenal time. And yes, Easter's about Jesus. But we also don't go to church that weekend, which is a little controversial because now I've just said that and you're like, oh, Jenny said I don't have to go to church. That is not what I'm saying. We are in church every other weekend of the year. And this is the one weekend we would be visiting another church. And for me, that is very difficult. When we are home, we go to our home church. But when I don't want to have to visit another church because that's what we do every weekend. And so I said we're not going to church, which means that on Easter Day, I am in my sweatpants, super comfortable, eating cookie dough, playing games. Like, how much better could life be? And you're like, wow, I'm kind of inspired by what kind of Easter I should have. But why I came on to kind of talk about Easter. Now, Easter is one of those moments that it's such a pivotal point of our belief system. It's when Jesus dies on the cross on Friday, and on Sunday he's risen and he has conquered our sins. And that is what our whole world evolves around, is Jesus dying on the cross for our sins, being resurrected, and that he gave us life so that we may come and live with him. This is amazing stuff. And I do not want to pass a moment that I would belittle that in any way, shape, or form, because I really, truly believe Easter is one of the best holidays out there. So That is why I celebrate it to its fullest. Like we actually do a contest every year where we decorate something and then we put it up on the internet and people get to vote for it and choose which one they like the best. So we've done rocks, we decorate a rock, we've decorated plates, we've we've decorated a lot of things. This year, we're decorating a wooden plaque that has an Easter bunny on it. And I really believe that we have lost the sense of celebration in the church and in our world. We have lost the moments that we no longer celebrate things. And for me, I have made Easter a big celebration. Like my 18-year-old is still getting an Easter basket. In fact, I am getting an Easter basket this year. Kevin is getting an Easter basket this year because I'm like, you know what? No more. We're all adults. Everybody gets an Easter basket. You know, when she was little, that was great for her to get one, and she never got it from the Easter bunny. It always came from us, which is just how it worked in our house. But this year, I'm like, she's an adult, so are we. We're all getting them. I really feel like it's important to take time to celebrate life. Like, I just love celebrating small wins and big wins. And I think we've lost that sense. And so I just wanted to say to you, how are you celebrating? What are you doing to celebrate this weekend, Easter, or even this weekend, whatever week, 4th of July? Maybe you're listening to this in July and you're like, what? But we have lost the sense of celebrating the small things in our world that really bring our lives to be complete and full. Now, I realize that I might be a little over the top when it comes to celebrating. I still celebrate my dog's birthday because you know what? He was born on a day that was one of the saddest days of my life. It was the day that our other dog died. That's actually his birthday. And I celebrate that God gave us our dog. Like, I celebrate things that maybe make you go, what are you doing? When my daughter has a huge paper and she finishes it, she just finished, she ended up doing an 11-page paper, I think was the end of it. And I was like, that's it, put down the computer, we're going for ice cream. And her and I piled in the car and we drove and we got ice cream. And then what we do after we get ice cream, because my husband's lactose intolerant, he's not being left out. The two of us go, and that's how we celebrate. And then we drive, and we have a really long half an hour to 45-minute drive afterwards that she can just talk and express everything. And it is my favorite thing that we do because she gets to be like, I was so frustrated with this and whatever's happening, or I can't believe I finished this, and it's all those pieces. I take the 45 minutes and I celebrate that was done. And I know that God has gifted me with only one child. And so I have more flexibility than the average person when it comes to celebrating what my child does. Because if you had 10, that would be a little difficult. You might be eating ice cream every single day. And you know what? That wouldn't be such a bad thing either. All right. But you can really find simple ways to celebrate. So I have talked a little bit, maybe, I don't know if I have, about my sticker chart. Now I finished one and then I got to go and get an appetizer. We went to the Olive Garden. I went with a girlfriend and I got the Alfredo sauce and I felt like $1 million. I was like Alfredo sauce and ravioli and I even got a Coca-Cola. Like it was like a full on look at me splurging kind of night. And it was very simple, but I had gotten there by celebrating every day that I had achieved what I had my goal to be. I was like, you know what? Here's my 3 goals. It's my walking goal, my water goal, and my fasting goal. And if I meet those, I get my sticker. And every morning that I put a sticker on, it is a mini celebration for myself. Do you remember when you were a kid and you turned in the paper and your teacher put a sticker on the top because you turned it in on time and you did it right and everything was filled in? Like, this is amazing. And we have lost that sense for ourselves. We have lost the sense of celebration, especially in as a grown-up. And so I refuse to give up the things that I celebrate when it comes to holidays. I love to decorate. That's just who I am. I'll go to the Dollar Tree. I'll get a bunch of stuff and then I will donate it because it was from the Dollar Tree. But I celebrate because we have just lost that. No one is celebrating us. No one is out there going, wow, you know what? I should really celebrate so-and-so. They're just doing a really good job playing the bass guitar every Sunday. Like, they are faithful. They are phenomenal. Thank you so much for doing that. No, we are just more cranky when they don't show up, right? When someone doesn't do what we expected them to do. We go to a restaurant and it's really frustrating nowadays when you go to a restaurant and the customer service is no longer where I think it should be. But when it is and people are nice, it's almost like, well, wasn't that just the way it should be? Instead of going, wow, they really went above and beyond. And I try to fill out the little survey if I can, just to give them kudos, because it's so rare nowadays that people are going above and beyond, let alone being nice. So how are you going to celebrate? First of all, this weekend, how are you going to celebrate whatever's coming up in your life? The only thing I do not celebrate is my birthday. Like, I just don't feel like there should be a celebration for my birthday. Everyone else's birthday, absolutely. Mine, nope, I'm good. Let's just deny. But we've just lost that sense of wonder. The wonder of, I'm trying to remember what I was going to tell you about the other day. I was celebrating something super simple. I think it was someone coming on as a monthly supporter for Real Life with Jenny. And I cannot even tell you the moment that I saw that, I jumped around like it was like a full-on squealing kind of situation, like simple moment. And I was like, we need to celebrate. And I think we got chips with that meal. I think it's what I did for my celebration. Now, celebration does not always need to be food. I'm finding a way to celebrate without food. Yes. But what will you do to celebrate some of the things in your life that you've just kind of lost the vigor for? We lose the vigor for things because there is no reward sometimes. Now, I still make a meal every single night. Like, that's my heart and that's something that I love to do. You may not do that, and that is okay. But my reward for those meals is yummy, yummy meals. So I'm not going to make another reward. That's my reward, that the meal was delicious. But there are things that I have to figure out a way to celebrate for myself. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't always think, hey, me getting in my steps today, yes, the reward is you feel better. The reward is you're healthier, blah, 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 blah. Like, I get that. And if that works for you, woot. It does not for me. I'm sore and now I'm tired. Like, this does not feel good. So that I have a reward now for that. And that's a simple little sticker. And yes, it's scratch and sniff. Like, let's be real here, people. Let's do it right. But what will you do to motivate yourself by adding a reward to what you're doing? Your boss may not reward you at work, But maybe you need to figure out a way to like, hey, I did this project. I'm actually going to celebrate this. It doesn't need to be anything big. It can be something very simple, but maybe you need to figure out a way to start celebrating the things that you've done and the things that you've accomplished. If you have small children and everybody made it into bed and everyone is still alive, maybe at the end of the day, you light a candle and go, this is my celebration because everybody is still alive. Everybody was fed and clothed, and we're going to celebrate that success. Like those are those moments that you light a candle and you go, this is going to be 5 minutes of me smelling the candle that I bought at Target because I thought it smelled good and I have never lit it because I don't have time to sit and look at a candle, let alone enjoy the fragrance because there's so much going on. And that day you go, you know what? I'm going to celebrate by lighting a candle tonight and giving yourself 5 minutes and just going, whew. So I am going to encourage you that this week you find 2 things to celebrate. And however you do that, I don't know, but I want you to find 2 things to celebrate. And then go to Real Life with Jenny and tell me what you did. Because let's have some accountability here. Like, I celebrated that my dog got a bath. Because my dog just walked up right next to me is actually what just happened. And I went, ooh, this boy needs a bath. So it's Real Life with Jenny. What am I going to do? 2 things to celebrate this week. And just know that you are worth celebrating. We do all these celebrations for everyone else, right? Like we make sure our kids have everything they need, our friends have everything they need, our coworkers have everything they need. But what do you need? What celebration can you do for yourself this week? That's my challenge. We'll see how it goes. Well, you can find me at Real Life with Jenny on Instagram, Facebook, and Be Real. You can go to buymeacoffee/Real Life with Jenny to support this podcast. You can also go to christconnection.cc/Jen and fill out a form there and get a service. So let me know what you've done this week to celebrate. Get creative. Let's see what kind of things that you want to celebrate and find the motivation to not only celebrate everyone around you and those really important holidays, but celebrate you this week. Have a wonderful week.